I remember when I lost my...
Hello everybody, it's the Universal Critic. I talk about whatever I want, whenever I want, and as you can see I'm not wearing glasses. That's because I'm wearing contacts. Just wanted to point that out in case anybody was wondering. And today I'm reviewing the Best Picture nominee, Silver Linings Playbook. A nominee which in my opinion should have been the winner, but that's just my opinion, not the Academy's, so I'll let it go. So what's the movie about? Well, Bradley Cooper plays a man named Patrick, who is just served 8 months in a mental hospital because of a violent incident that occurred because of his bipolar disorder. Anyway, he leads with a rather optimistic view of life. He figures if he works hard enough and he can get his life back in order and get his ex-wife back, who they got separated after the incident, which I won't go into detail for. I'll just leave it at that. That's all I want to say about it. Along the way, he has trouble with his father, who's his obsessive-compulsive father, played by Robert De Niro in a very well-cast role, I'll admit. And he also meets a woman named Tiffany, played by Jennifer Lawrence, who also has, I think it was bipolar disorder. I don't think they ever actually stated that she has bipolar, but it's similar to bipolar disorder. And anyway, it's kind of a Rocky-esque story. Like, the hero fights as hard as he can. He comes up a little short, but he still kind of wins in the end. Which I'll leave it at that for the plot spoilers. But anyway, how was the movie? Well, it was really good. Like I said, I think it should have won Best Picture. And Jennifer Lawrence completely deserved Best Actress because, well, she does a very good job as Tiffany. She plays a woman who, yeah, she's like, because of her disorder, she's kind of rude and sometimes says, well, it's not that she's rude, it's just that she's very frank and always tells you exactly what she thinks of you. But they also give her a sympathetic side in that she and her husband died, and ever since she's been quite depressed and has fallen into something of sex addiction, among other things. And Jennifer Lawrence does a really good job of playing both the strong, independent side, but also the weak and sympathetic side. I really like Jennifer Lawrence, as you can tell. She's a very talented young actress for someone who's only 22. Bradley Cooper also does a very good job. I think it's probably the best thing I've ever seen him do. It's rare to see him take such a serious turn. It's like, he plays a person who's very optimistic, but he's still flawed. He's not like he's not some autistic savant or something like he can just do anything. It's just that everyone just doesn't understand him. He has a legitimate problem that he needs to deal with. That's what I like about this movie. And that's what I really like about this movie is how realistically it portrays people with mental illness. It doesn't usually they're either portrayed as lunatics who cannot function in normal society and need to be locked away in the crazy bin, or on the other end of the spectrum you have this patronizing, romanticized nonsense about them being like, they know a lot about the world that we just don't get it, man. Yeah, I really despise both of those, and before you go accusing me of some politically correct liberal, I have undiagnosed Asperger's. So I think I'm entitled to be a little sensitive about the issue of mental illness. Anyway, how was the rest of the movie? Well, Robert De Niro does a very good job. Do I even need to say any more? It's Robert De Niro. And, well, I really like, basically the main plot of the movie is, well, Bradley Cooper and Jennifer Lawrence, they're practicing for a dance competition that means everything to Lawrence's character. And of course, what I really like is the romance between Lawrence and Cooper, is that it feels naturally like they really work. They really seem to have a connection. It's not just like they fall in love because they both have mental illness and suddenly they're made for each other. No, they really take a long time. They take a long time of working together and acknowledging each other's flaws, complimenting them, and then moving past them. Just like a real romance should work. And Robert De Niro's character, well, like I said, he has OCD, and it's hinted at that, like, maybe that had an effect on Bradley Cooper's bipolar disorder. And Robert De Niro does a good job of portraying both, like, yeah, he's like a football fan, he's a dad, that's kind of typical for Hollywood movies, but he does kind of portray, like, maybe he has some guilt over, like, maybe he had an effect on his son, but again, that's not really stated outright, so it's open to your interpretation. And overall, Silver Linings Playbook, well, I think it's a very realistic, very smart, and very well-made film that was robbed of its best of the award it so, in my opinion, deserved. But well, what can you do? I'm the universal critic. I talk about whatever I want, whenever I want. Goodbye.
Does that make me crazy?